Hi, James here. Welcome to my first vlog. This is me walking down Broadbeach. Been pretty consistent with this lately. Haven't been able to run as I've got 2 tears in my calf, but I'm still enjoying it's important to get sunlight. This is me
everyone.
rocking up at Open Mat on Sunday. 8 o'clock every Sunday we host Open Mat. Here I am talking a bit of shit, hyping up a little joke that I had on Levi. He's the other purple belt and the owner of Access Runaway Bay. Just, keeping things competitive. We got our purple belt at the same time, so there's always that little bit of competition, but one thing is try not to show that competitive side against Levi, because you'll get a different version of him. So this is probably a bad idea, but here we go. This is me rocking up, walking in. This is Millie, the chocolate Labrador, Levi and Emma's puppy. Look, it's the dog that I never had, but yeah, she's so excited every time I come in. I seriously love this dog. As you can see, she's got somebody's thong. It's a gift, which is pretty funny. She always picks up people's thongs. Coming into we've got Levi here doing a private. He does privates before we do open mats every Sunday. He puts a lot of effort into these privates, and you can tell that his clients walk away with a lot of extra technique. This is Dan Gibson and Levi rolling.
Thanks, mate.
This is Levi passing Dan's guard. He's had such good pressure lately. It's a real, really, because he's quite tall and also strong. His base is just really good. For me, as you can see here, he's blasting past Dan's guard, trying to set up like an Kimura or a potential step over armbar. Just being a bit of a nightmare. Dan, one thing with Dan though, I think, he likes being towed up a bit. Until he's had enough, and then you get a different version of him, but he really lets you kind of play, which I think is important. But then you get these situations where you get so deep that you can't get out of. So this is another one of those situations. He's got like kind of a loop choke on Dan. Looks like he's pulling the whippersnipper or the mower. Poor Dan. There's that switch base forward pressure again, which Dan's doing the right thing, trying to come up, but yeah, he's just too heavy. That choke's probably on.
Dan, go to work, son.
But yeah, I think he did a good job.
Rip in, go higher.
It's not a good position to be in. Here we are, Dan giving a bit of sweet payback. So, I think that's one thing Dan is really good at, is he's quite resilient, but so is Levi as well at this stage. I think Levi is just kind of playing with him. I feel like, he'll definitely, this is like Dan trying to set up a triangle, but just me, love a good selfie, but just great energy on Sundays. This is me rolling against Levi. As you can see here, I play a lot of open guard these days, just because I've had like a lot of little niggly injuries. Me trying to already work to get to Levi's back, but then dealt with that knee slide pass pressure. Levi already in that kind of Kesekatami switch base forward, working that north-south, pushing my head into the mat there, a bit of brotherly love. But as I said, that really long base, which is hard to deal with. I've been working a lot with doing Jason Robick's privates, dealing with, look, a nice little reversal here. It's like you just have to weather the storm for a bit, and I find myself, I'm a bit of a counter jiu-jitsu player. It's a nice little switch to setting up an armbar. But what I really am going for is the back take here. I find something like working, that's something I'm good at, setting up a rear naked choke, which, it's something, if I get to the back, I'm pretty confident that I'll finish it. This is Dan playing some open guard. It's my passing game there. Same thing again, Dan really receiving techniques, but then, he starts to get to work. It's that counter jiu-jitsu style there. So same kind of thing. When I get to this position, I'm quite confident that I can at least get to the back. Just trying to bait Dan into giving me something, baiting a head and arm, which, it's not what I'm actually going for. Like faking the knee, waiting for him to switch out and give me his back. Here we go. Even like setting up like little arm bars, but realistically, I'm going for a rear naked choke. Now I'm starting to pull him up towards. One thing I've been focusing on is, switching my arms, as you can see here. Dan actually got out of this, which, as I said, I'm confident, but he's actually quite hard to submit at the best of times. I've trained with him quite a bit over the years, where we used to train at another gym. But as I said, he's just really resilient, just doesn't want to get choked out. Here's me setting up an open guard game. I do love my cutting arm bars. I've looked at a lot of Choi Bar, Lachlan Giles tapes as well, which have been helpful. This is Liam. He's a new blue belt at our gym. He's fly in, fly out. Levi, as I said, he's a big boy, but Levi's, he's used to dealing with that pressure, especially in like a stand-up striking situation. I struggle with Liam because obviously he's such a big guy, and that open guard game doesn't really work, where Levi definitely working on that top game, putting his pressure in, and I feel like Liam's starting to gas a little bit here. And it's one thing with, I guess, people that, I guess, whether it's blue belts, is that they're quite a strong fight, but when things don't work out, that's where they start to really, look at that. That's, his legs have switched off completely. So realistically, Levi could probably finish him. This is me on Monday morning, down at the Spit. Tried to go for a surf. I should have gone to South Stratty because it was much better. But I hadn't been in for water for a while. After that, I went for a walk down at Broady again, just one of my non-negotiables on my days off. Just trying to stay consistent with this till my calf heals so I can get back into running. As you can see, it was an epic day, so I'd really like to get that sun.
Hi guys, James here. I'll be introducing one-on-one private BJJ sessions operating at Access Runaway Bay. These sessions are designed to help you break through those blocks,
I'm trying to become more active on social media, just getting my brand out there. So I was pretty happy with this. That's my first vlog, guys. Thanks for listening. Us.